Hi everybody, welcome to Walker's Guide and welcome to day 23 of 30 Days of Wild. And today has been a beautiful day. Hot, too hot for me. I've been hiding, but now it's about 25 degrees-ish. I can actually breathe again. And I'm at Weald Country Park for a lovely walk. I mean, look at that view. A beautiful woodland down there with a magpie. But what I want to talk about today is this. Not the brambles, we've already done that, but the tree. Now, that tree has a slight problem. So a dead tree, right? That should be cut down, right? Instantly, because it's a danger. Well, absolutely not. The life in that tree is no longer the tree, it's everything else around it. Right now, there are small birds, wrens in that case, who are feeding on insects living in the tree. I'm watching bees fly in and out, and wasps, probably paper wasps. There'll be wood wasps, which aren't a wasp, that are depositing their eggs or via a long pointy thing called an over-depositor. Owls potentially will live in holes, as will woodpeckers. There we go, there's a little bird just flew out the bottom. The little wren, troglodytes. That tree will have fungi living throughout it. The bees are going in, there's obviously a beehive or bee nest inside of it. There's another dead one next door, recently dead, and a big log on the floor rotting away. Death in a forest is the biggest bit of life there is. Look at that, where the animals have actually dug out holes through the softer wood. Different insects and animals are coming at different points. You're going to get things like Deathwatch beetle. Deathwatch beetle is an amazing insect. It used to be, the reason it's called Deathwatch is when it's fully matured, it knocks its head against timbers and they make a knock. And it was said to be the foretelling of someone dying in a house. So if you heard a Deathwatch beetle, someone was going to die. In there could also be stag beetle larvae. Those stag beetle larvae will become our largest insect. The male can be over an inch and a half long. And when you hear them, they sound like carrier bags fluttering in the wind. That tree, what would now be known as a monolith, because it's not really a tree anymore, it's a lump of standing deadwood, is so vital to woodlands. Yes, it's not maybe as pretty as that small chestnut, or that's a big dead tree down there, we're going there next, or that living oak over there, but it's differently beautiful. Let's wander down to that big oak down there. Just remember, this is a country park, so there's a different thought process potentially to what you might do in your back garden. I've just been watching green woodpeckers fly out of this area, although weirdly they don't actually feed mainly on trees, they put a feed on ground. So here's this lovely dead tree. Now I said oak, but could actually well be an ash. And we can see where the bark has come off and left the tree underneath. Beautiful timbers for birds to hide on. Fungi will be in there, the small insects. So what else could be in there? Bats. Bats will use dead trees to as a hibernarium, which they're overwintering, or just as a roost where they'll stay during the night, or during the day I should say, because they're out at night. They are a beautiful resource for nature. Dead trees are possibly if not possibly, in actual fact, as important as living trees. So trees have life stages, just like us humans. Obviously, they start as a seed, they germinate, and they become a small tree, sometimes called a sapling. If you're planting it, it's a whip. From there, you then move on to, I guess, a tree. Then they become a veteran, potentially. They don't always become a veteran. Veteran trees are special. This oak here is a veteran. It's a big tree. It's the tallest tree around. There is nothing higher than it. But it's declining. It's not dead yet. It's not dead yet. But it's starting to decline. You get what we call staghorning, which is up at the top here, as the limbs at the top start to die off because they're not needed anymore. The tree's not going to grow much bigger. What they'll do is the top branches will die off and get clearer. Beautiful tree, but it's just resigning away. But this is important as well. I mean, look at the size of those holes. So in that hole, we could easily have an owl family, one above with jackdaws or crows. Well, we've definitely got crows in the tree because we can hear them shouting. But what do we do about a veteran tree like this? Enjoy it. Let nature take its course. If that was in my back garden, I would probably have 3 cameras set up at all times watching what goes in and out. It would be an absolute joy. An absolute joy to have something like that where you can watch it constantly. Because the animals and the birds that will come to something like that tree, a veteran that's slowly dying, will be fantastic. So, death of a tree is not the end. Unfortunately, this week we actually had news that Major Oak, which is one of the biggest oak trees in Sherwood Forest, the Robin Hood oak as it were, has died. Which is sad. But it's been on borrowed time for a lot of years. And to be honest, with our changing environment, it's getting hotter. The hottest days in record in the UK, all of them, now have been since 2022. Number of people visiting the tree were compacting the soil. So it was a victim of its own success. But with the temperature, it's just one of those things, unfortunately. But hopefully it will be allowed to be reused and become a future environment. Because trees, even when they're dead, they're full of life. And on that, I'm going to end today's walk. I'm going to end today's video, and I will see you tomorrow on the Walker's Guide for day 24 of 30 Days of Wild. Bye!